33 stocks reporting this week. According to the Brentster, sometimes a couple thousand report during the week. No econ data, nothing really major. Friday jobs number, but we all know interest rates are going down. So what are we going to talk about on pre-market prep today? Sports. No, just kidding. Just a little bit. We got to talk about our Tigers lipping into the playoffs here, but we got some movers and shakers. We got stock down a lot. We have some up quite a bit. Let's get it started here on pre-market prep.
The volatility right now is really incredible.
Wow, look at that consolidation on the upper right chart.
You know what we've seen this earnings season? Some of these expected moves get even more violent. And this is why I have switched my strategy 10 years ago. And if you're chasing, you're in trouble.
All right, good morning, traders and investors. Strong close filed through over the weekend. Those retail buyers, they just couldn't resist the offers. Up 31 and a quarter handle, 67.27.75. Buck pulling back a dime, 97.72 after a decent week last week. TLT on the rebound, up 55 cents, 89.45. USO, down a buck, 75.96. Gold and silver, GLD up 346, new all-time high, 350.20. SLV exploding up 68 cents, 42.54. And Bitcoin, after being a laggard a little bit last week, up almost 3%, over $3,000 at 112,860. We're bringing Triple D onto the stage and
breaking news. Bring Brentster in to break the news. 8 a.m. Literally when we started the show, we get the actual deal. It is Merger Monday, and we have a merger for you, Mr. Brentster. Give us the details.
Good morning. EA is going private. It's going to be taken private by PIF, an existing shareholder at Silver Lake, and a company called Affinity Partners. A $55 billion deal, $210 per share in cash, represents a 25% premium to the company's stock price as of August 14th. This is something that was rumored last week, I think it was. Now we are getting confirmation.
Yeah, so it is halted right now. They halted it right at 8 a.m. It halted just actually after 8 a.m., but it is halted. You're seeing some thinner trades go off, but those were trades from last night. Old trades to the tape. It is not trading at 195 right now. It is bid right now 205, I can see, and got halted around 202 right at 8 a.m. So probably going to go to 207, 208. Time value of money I always have to consider, so I'd imagine 207 to 208 is where this is going to reopen at. Goes off the board. Take two is lifting as well. Obviously, a peer in the group. You get one takeover private. They're like, ooh, maybe there'd be another one. TTWO did lift on Friday on the rumors, and Wall Street Journal broke those. So good job, WSJ. Now we're seeing 261 here. Take two this morning. So we're getting some love in the gaming stocks.
Wow. I mean, Activision, right? That got taken out a long time ago by Microsoft, a long and detailed merger that Michael Pachter was all over for a number of years. This is private equity, right? So, where's the no antitrust, right? I mean, this is going through pretty much at 210 unless someone wants to pay.
They can always block anything, but I mean, doubtful. So yeah, right. I would assume this is like probably very few hurdles here. That's why I'm saying 207, 208 probably.
Yeah, for the time value of money. There you go. You heard the rumors last week, and here coming to fruition. Yeah, unbelievable here. Not a big video game player here, so can't really make a lot of comments on that. But boy, it's Jared Kushner, I believe someone's saying in the chat that's Affinity making a big move, big purchase for EA, and Take Two reaping some benefits.
Also, might as well go with the merger theme here. We're just changing up the theme a little bit. Merger Monday. The Brentster can give us this one too. We have a biotech merger, MRUS, another cash deal.
1 sec, I'm just pulling up my press release here. MRUS going to be bought by GenMab, GMAB. The deal is $8 billion in total. It's $97 per share for MRUS shareholders.
So another cash deal. This is a bigger company here, not in the XBI. It was actually in the IBB. So if you're looking IBB trading up pretty good this morning here, well, you know, a little bit up anyways. MRUS is in there. It's not in the XBI. We always do our XBI weekend trade. It is working anyways, just because you get a little bit of excitement in some of these biotechs. Also working despite a disaster in the biotechs, which we'll get to that here in a second too. But lots of news to just cover here quickly. Here, obviously, we get the breaking news. We were going to talk sports out the bat, but we skipped the sports talk for the EA merger. CNBC now breaking the news here as well, so they're all over it too. Everybody's talking some EA.
Merger Monday, right? That you see that, you know, over the years. I guess the only thing to take a note here is the acquirer on this one, and what is that? GMAB, and that is getting hit. That's pretty traditional. The stock has had, you know, coming off the gutter here at $20, way above its 50-day moving average. But Merger Monday comes through. Why don't we just skip the sports once again? And boy, do we have a disaster in biotech.
Yeah, and Brentster, we might as well keep you right here. You've been breaking all the news here this morning, but this one is your disaster of the day, and we are talking Moon Lake Immunotherapeutics, MLTX, now down a cool 87%.
Woo!
What happened?
So it seems like they had a negative trial. I think it's safe to say they pretty effectively buried the negative news in here. They're talking about primary endpoints being met, but the negative news, as far as I can tell, is that the placebo in this trial had a better response rate by about 6 or 7% than the company's product. So I imagine investors.
You never want the placebo outperforming your drug.
Exactly.
That's about as bad as it could be.
I don't think I've ever heard of that before. I've heard the placebo was a little bit less or the same. But have you heard that the placebo is actually done worse?
Yeah. And if you don't follow by it, that simply means that people who are getting the non-drug. So the people who got the drug did worse than the people who got the non-drug. So you never want to see that. So.
Look at Gerald's comment here. How much for those placebo pills? Yeah.
Yeah. The placebo stock would be popping.
But we got to pay for those.
Yeah, down 87%. I mean, stock is a disaster. Sometimes you see these dead cat bounce a bit. It closed at 62. We knew the trial results were coming, I think, and that's why the pop up the last couple of days. Obviously, nobody expected such a disaster here. And the stock is basically giving back all of its all-time gains in one foul swoop. Yes. Yeah, we're back down to 2022 pricing when this thing originally came out, like $5. So we're 7. I mean, I guess, you know, 4 to 5, I guess, if you want to take a shot and say, well, maybe they'll figure it out. There's still something here, but obviously some investors are saying this story is over.
What stage was this, Brent? What phase?
I believe it was phase 3. Yes, it was phase 3. So, you know, the other consideration I think maybe you're highlighting, Joel, is the company spent a lot of time and effort getting it through to phase 3. And there is a phase 4 trial, but they're not used all the time. Phase 3 is kind of like the end of the road in FDA land. If you get to phase 3, usually it's a good thing.
If you can get through phase 3.
How much cash do they have? How much cash do they have?
Phase 3, you're SOL.
Oh, how much cash do they have?
Oh, that's a good question.
Let me see. Yeah, let me see if I can find that.
If you have it, we'll take it. It's a race.
It's a race.
MLTX, go see the cash. They have, oh, it's hard to find. Joel throwing us under the bus.
Sorry.
300 million in cash with 100 million in liabilities. So about 200 mil.
200 mil.
On a stock. How many shares are outstanding? You see where you're going with this. It's like residual value.
Yeah.
I'm going to say like 200. So how shares outstanding? Stuff's hard to find.
It's hard to find too now.
Oh, no, shares, that's 63 million shares. And they got roughly 200 mil. So $5. Is that right? Anybody follow this story? They may have $5 in cash. So that would be a bottom if they do, if we can verify that. Because I'm going 300 million, looking at the last balance sheet, 300 million in cash, 100 million in liabilities. Oh, they also got 73 million long-term debt though too. So that's 173. That should leave them 130. So I'd leave them a couple bucks in cash if they pay off all the long-term debt. But they're going to start, these companies, I don't know if they're going to fold shop. They're probably going to try to figure it out. Hard to say if they're going to fold shop. So if they
don't
try to
know.
figure it out,
I don't know if they're
more
going to do an
cash.
offering at this price. To do an offering at this price, but not much.
It's really hard to do offerings when your trials fail.
And you know what the thing too is that people are just jammed on this. Look what it did on Friday, Dennis. I mean, you talk about the street leading the wrong way.
Well, they knew the results were coming. People were excited.
Yeah, boy, oh boy, bull market. Biotech is back, and this thing went from 56.38 to 61.99 on Friday. But those levels, I think, are safe for now. Someone's bringing some shorts. The only thing I can say about this is someone's like, yippee-ki-yay, I'm bringing this in at 750. That's the only thing I can say, and that's where it's traded at, 750. So little bit bid there in MLTX.
We lost Brent Sturgis. His camera died, so he's going to be back here.
Okay.
Too. So, okay, continuing on with the news parade here. Trump. The Trumpster always moves stocks, so it just depends on, which sector he prefers to talk about over the weekend. Well, this weekend, he put out a video on pot stocks. So he's saying, he doesn't like his Tylenol or his Advils or anything, but he likes his pot. And he put out a bullish video on pot, or at least retweeted it anyways. I didn't watch the video. It's 2 minutes and 42 seconds, so I didn't bother. But I'll tell you, the pot stocks are responding well to whatever was in this video this morning. You can go to the ETFs, you can go to the individual stocks. They are all popping. MSOS, which is the levered one, is up 20%. MJ bid up $1, $2, $2.50. CGC, Tilray up 18%. Go through all these things. They're all popping here. It's a pot stock frenzy this morning. Greg LeBlanc's all happy as Tilray shares are going up. It's moving. I mean, Trumpster, that's the best headline you can get when the Trumpster gets behind something. And obviously, pot stocks reaping the benefits here this morning.
All of them are just on the move here. Round Hill Cannabis.
The best.
I mean, if past performance is any indication of future returns, these pops are something that you should take under consideration here as far as profit taking. If you think this is your next Intel MP materials type of thing, then you know what the price action is after that. But historically, what we've seen on these things, boom, pops and a lot more drops than continued rallies. So that's what we'll keep an eye on. Your pre-market highs in these things. MSOS, that's just a big move, up 77 cents. That's almost 20%. Yeah, but hey, it's not even over $5 yet. It did get over $5 in the pre-market. Got to 534. You have that's a good level, because I think there was a high at 523 back on September 9th. So there you go. Movement in the marijuana sector.
In the long run, pot stocks have been the place where money has gone to die. But getting Trump behind it, you can trade anything. And maybe, I wouldn't want to fade on day one. I think there'll be a lot of people excited here. There is high short interest in most of these names. You could kick off a little bit of squeeze. And, just moving into the overall conversation here, this is where we were going to start before we got the EA news, is we are in a retail frenzy. We're in the stocks where, it's social media gets on board, starts driving their prices. Even on the weekends, we've been talking about this, relentless drive over the weekends here. But the pot stocks are loved in social media too. So if they can get behind, and start getting your Discord rooms and your Reddit and your Twitter, I guess they call it X, and all these other social media platforms, I'd be scared to short pot on the first day, especially when Trump starts supporting something. You just think about, obviously taking positions in Intel, LAC, and MP materials. Not saying he's going to go take position in pot stocks, but we don't know he's not either. When he's tweeting about pot stocks and he's dead set against, Advil, Tylenol and stuff, So I think that this could be the start of something here, actually. So I'm going to say, normally I would say all rallies to be sold on pot stocks always. I don't know this time. I don't like it when the Trump.
In
If I
this
was short,
market, in this environment,
yep,
I
and
mean,
Trump getting behind it, I'd be really cautious.
I wouldn't be shorting. That's
what
for
I've
sure.
no way. Nope.
And if you wanna, if you have some profit targets in there, but Dennis, does this change your opinion? Would you rather have a warehouse of tomato plants over a warehouse of marijuana plants?
Which is what I always said. When we were looking at Afria, and this was like 5 years ago. If you've been listening to the show for a long time, I hated the pot stocks forever, and I was correct to hate them. But I was just like, this is a $7 billion valuation. And like I know, like it was down in Leamington, and I know like the greenhouses, and I'm like, they got a greenhouse full of cucumbers and tomatoes that's selling for $5 million, and they got a greenhouse full of pot plants selling for $7 billion. It made no sense whatsoever. Same greenhouse, just different crop. Anyways, it worked out in the end, and all that $7 billion and $10 billion and $15 billion valuation went poof. So you've gotta use a little bit of common sense when you're investing.
Didn't you go sniffing around there? Didn't you go sniffing around there and go check it out, or was that?
Well, that's the one thing is the crops kind of stink, eh? So that whole area, because it's strong smelling. So like there was a restaurant over there that people they were complaining, trying to fight it because that people weren't going because they're getting a headache because you stand outside the restaurant, it smells like pot plants. It was an issue. It's still an issue, some of that stuff. But the valuations are no longer an issue because they've come down so much. I mean, where is the CGC? Obviously, Tilray is the one that merged with Afria. But you can look at the all-time high on Tilray, $300 a share. It's $1.35. So, from a valuation perspective, they never made sense. Do they make sense down here? I don't know if they still make sense on valuation perspectives, but I'm not going to fight the president. That's the one trade you do not fight as his president. He's there for a while here now. Tilray is still worth $1 billion. So there's still quite a bit of like fluff there. It's not exactly. Am I working? You hear me?
Yeah, you get womp a little bit, but I don't know.
You know why? Because I got IB running.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to shut IB down. Anyways, I'm trying to bring stuff up, but my computer is not cooperating here. So I may have to shut Interactive Brokers down. So bear with me. Run with it for a second, Joel.
We'll run with it for a second here. Government shutdown. I mean, we're talking macro here. Brentster, I mean, how many times have we heard this before? A government shutdown, and all of a sudden something happens and there's a deal. So what is
every time? Every time?
Have we shut down? Have we shut down? I don't know.
Every time.
We've almost been about to shut down every time, and then in the 11th hour, the 11th inning, they come in and they string together a deal
and spend more money.
The government shutdown is officially tomorrow. They need to have a new budget by the 1st, October 1st. There's your formal date. Are we going to hear about something tonight, something tomorrow? Probably. Also, does the market really care about this? Nah, doesn't really seem like the market ever really cares about this. I don't know.
Yeah, Joel's saying Obama shut it down. And I just have to bring this up, and I know this is going to be controversial, so don't get mad at me.
Okay.
But it was put in the chat. If the Blue Jays win the World Series, are they going to get invited to the White House?
No, Trump already tweeted that this weekend.
Oh, he already said no?
I think it was a fake tweet. So I did see it go by. Maybe it was real, but he said, I'm going to fully investigate the Blue Jays for, this American League East championship. And officially, they're not being invited to the White House if they win. I'm pretty sure that was a fake tweet, but I laughed out loud. It was done really well. It came from the social media, and they were retweeting it over in Canada. So I'm like, I'm retweeting it everywhere. I'm pretty sure it was fake. Maybe it wasn't. It was funny, though.
Toronto
it's something he would tweet because he is actually the one thing you can love him, hate him, whatever. He actually is fun. Some of the stuff he says is pretty funny.
He hasn't been that hard on Canada lately. I mean,
it's coming probably.
Yeah.
Well, isn't he buddies? Isn't he buddies with the guy now? Yeah, he
kinda
likes
like
Carney now. Yeah.
they kind of like they had a little talk together. They kind of like each other right now.
Yeah.
And Trump's always hates you, and he likes you again. He's like never stays mad. He never stays mad at anyone. Am I still breaking up or I'm okay?
No, you're okay. I mean, yeah, what
Yep.
was it that Intel guy like packing up his office and getting ready to go, and all of a sudden he's invited for the White House for
Yeah.
caviar and cocktails?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
because he hate you, and then remember when Kim Jong-un? Remember when he first got in the first term, and Kim Jong-un was firing missiles over Japan every other day, and the markets would take cover. We fall 30 handles because another missile's going over Japan. They were take cover, and then Trump's tweeting at him. He's like tweeting the nuke guy. He called him Rocket Man. Remember he had the name for him, Rocket Man? And then he says, "I got bigger rockets." Going back and forth. And they're battling on social media. Like he's like battling at him on social media. And then he ends up, I'm not sure if that's you breaking up or me breaking up. But then he ends up, shaking his hand. Remember, he went across and was shaking his hand at the end there. So he never stays mad at anyone forever.
Okay, we'll see if that remains the same.
Was I breaking up? If I am, I'll just quickly reach.
Okay.
Down.
All right.
I think you're okay for me, Triple D. By the way.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yep.
So what happens is I'm running like Stock Trader Network. I'm running like StreamYard. I'm running like IB. I'm running, I'm running too much on this computer. So the odd morning, it's just like, no, it wants a reboot. So I haven't rebooted the computer in a while. And sometimes, you get everything else cooking, just needs a reboot. So I should have rebooted. I did not. We have Mish Schneider in the background here too. We're always excited to get Mish. So she's going to be here in a few minutes. We'll talk a little bit of what's going on in the beauty stocks. We're going to talk a few little things. So hold on here for Mish. She's going to be here in a few minutes. They're saying my audio is fine. So good news there. Moving on to other names. So we were just saying how it was a retail frenzy here over the weekend.
Yes, that's what we wanted to start with.
I know, we were supposed to start with.
Brent, are we going to get yelled at again at 9 a.m., Brent, for not following the outline?
No. You didn't follow the agenda whatsoever. Again.
Brent yells at us.
It's a tentative outline. It's a rough outline. If we follow it, good. If we don't follow it, you guys are having fun other ways. I like that.
It's all about having fun. So on Stock Trader Network, always I do my Friday night, and Joel's always like, Dennis, just slow it down. And I'm like, I go in Friday night and I buy Tesla every Friday night. I go and I buy Oklo, and I go and I buy, whatever else.
SoFi
always. So
great one.
PMNR, SBET, Open Door, NBIS, Webull, whatever retail like frenzy stock, because this has been the trade, folks. It's like, okay, so Friday night, those stocks kind of just hang out. And then Saturday, all those retail traders like, I wish the market would open. I wish the market would open. I wish the market would open. Why doesn't it open? Then Sunday, they're like, I can't believe the market's still not open. It opens up 8 o'clock Sunday night, and it's like, blast them up. Buy Tesla. Buy all these stocks. They just got to come in about Monday morning. They keep buying them all. If you look this morning, what stocks are up the most? The most loved retail stocks, of course, except Open Doors actually was trading down a little bit. Oh, it got back to green too. But I mean, it's just relentless retail frenzy that happens over the weekend. And we've been profiting from it here. So I've already lightened up most of those stocks or sold almost all of them into the retail frenzy we had this morning. But it's a great trade. It's a great weekend thing. I've been doing the XBI trade for years, and that's always worked well on the weekends. But I've added this whole weekend retail frenzy trade about a month and a half ago, so we've been doing about 6-7 weeks. One of these weekends we're going to get some bad news, and these stocks are all going to go down. That was not this weekend, though. The trade worked perfectly. All those stocks trading substantially higher. Let's start with Tesla.
Before you do, because someone mentioned your hedges, Dennis. Do you like in this market environment?
I used to. I just hedge a little bit. I don't even hedge as much as I always did because they just go up anyways. So a little bit of Q short, a little bit of SPY short, just in case the world implodes over the weekend. But you're in like this, like when the market neutral guy is just going straight out long stuff. Like this is like getting long in the tooth, because I normally trade market neutral, but I'm just flat out longing stocks, sometimes over the weekend, because I'm like, why even hedge? I'm just losing on the hedge. I might as well just go flat out long so these things go up. Let's start with Tesla, because the chart looks good here too. I mean, let's just talk Tesla technicals for a second here, because wouldn't go down on bad news all summer. And it's just been climbing the wall of worry, climbing the wall of worry. We see Musk dancing with Optimus over the weekend there. Everybody's all about Optimus now. They don't care if the cars don't sell because they drive themselves. They got a robotaxi coming, and they got Optimus eventually coming here too. The story is as hot, hot, hot. Retail community loves it. I've said I believe Tesla's going to be $500 by the end of the year. That's my official price target. I'm long Tesla, but I keep trading it from the long side as well.
One level only. Your high back last Monday, 1 week ago today. Your high was 448, 444 at 98. You backed off that day. Coming back up there again. It's like once, twice, three times, maybe the fourth time we bust through here. Besides that, not much, not on the monthly candle there, but move up, consolidation. Let's just make sure you stay up. Right now, even someone's out here at like 445. Pre-market high comes right in that area, 440, 440. So there's your number. And Tesla dancing with the robot. I don't know. How many people in the chat are going to be buying those robots when they come out?
Oh, I don't know. Give us a vote here, chat. You're going to pay 25, 30,000 bucks for an Optimus? I tell you, if it can take out the garbage, clean the house, do all your monotonous tasks out there, I'd buy one.
There's no way it can take out the garbage.
You did. Of course, it's already can do that. It's almost there on that. It's going to do way more than that. You don't think it can take out the garbage? It walks around. That's an easy job. It's got that one whipped. They can take out the garbage now. Right now, Optimus could take out the garbage.
There's no cars in the garage. Wait a second, Dennis. You probably have like a 6-car garage, and you don't park your cars in there. But what about people that like put their garbage cans in front of their car, and the cars are in there? And then you got, extra refrigerator and stuff on the side.
The cars drive.
It will move the car.
The cars drive themselves. So
you know what? When it takes out the garbage, I will buy an Optimus robot. When it can take out the garbage, then I will have no chores around the house at all. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I tell you, I like the idea of having like Musk says, my own C3PO to like do my little tasks and speak 6 million forms of communication. I like that idea. I'm in there. Do we want to get Mish? Are you ready? Is Mish ready?
Yeah, we're digressing. We got to bring Mish in.
Bring Mish in here. Save the show.
Mish Schneider, CEO over at MarketGauge, and also, were you on TV last night, Mish? Was that last night? I saw the tweet.
Yeah, I was on the Squawk Box Singapore.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well, it's so cool going on CNBC in Singapore because they give you so much time. I think I had like a 15-minute interview, which is great and also kind of challenging because you got to keep talking. And there's 3 anchors shooting questions at you. So Sunday night, I was just finishing watching the Chiefs win, yay, and then and the Giants and the Lions, all my teams, Pittsburgh.
Who don't you like? You like all those teams.
He just likes football.
I love football. Yeah. So anyway, good morning, and it's National Coffee Day. Yay.
Oh, I didn't know that. Should we be buying Starbucks?
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Santa Fe, the major plaza here where tourists come, that's the whole attraction. That Starbucks just closed, which I thought was interesting. Shut their doors after years and years. Yeah. So I don't know. Starbucks could have some issues.
What about the market having issues? That wicked pullback last week. Oh my gosh, what a correction. I just can't believe it. What do you think about the pullback last week? Kind of on weak volume, huh?
Yeah, well, before I say that, Dennis, 100% what you said. This has been a year that you don't even have to be, and I don't mean this in any demeaning way, but you don't have to be the smartest stock analyst in the world. You just have to follow what's hot. I loved everything you said. It's totally right on. That's it. And we could still analyze to the death, but right now, to answer your question, we've had 4 weeks and let's pick on my grandpa, right? Because that's hanging
Oh,
in
yeah.
there, but still hasn't really done anything great, like the way Sister Semiconductors is going nuts today. But that has made 4 weeks of higher lows, right? If we end this month in September, a green month, then the S&P will be up 5 months in a row. And I know you guys talked to Ryan Detrick. I mean, he'll say that after that, there's like a 12.8% rise in the market by the end of the year. I mean, that's kind of incredible. These things all sound incredible when you look at gold and silver, and you have to think, and the dollar weakening, you got to think, what the heck is going on? I mean, this is anybody who comes on and says, I know that, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how anybody can know anything other than you're long till you're wrong. If it breaks down under last week's low, that would definitely, to me, being cautious because it would break that pattern of those higher lows over a month. And until that happens, just have a party.
Yeah, just blindly buying stocks. Like I'm doing it too. And, I am not like that. I'm a statistical guy, quant guy, but I can see the patterns. I can see the patterns over the weekend that they just jack all these things up over the weekend. And I'm like, pattern recognition is my specialty there. So I'm going to play those patterns. And I mean, there's so many people are like, well, Tesla's way overdone. There's been some major hedge funds saying this is just valuations ridiculous. We're short. I mean, they're getting run over. There's like the cars aren't selling and it doesn't even matter. So, I mean, what happens when the cars start selling?
Well, and look at something like Rivian. Right now,
You've
Rivian,
had that call.
I've been on that stock. As I always love to joke that they should buy me a car. They should give me a car.
Yeah.
I've been such a spokesperson for this company. But I mean, that's another classic example. Everything dictates that this stock should really not be doing very much of anything. You've got the tax incentives ending tomorrow, the $7,500 that people get. There has been issues with the cost of the car. However, if you just look around, and I'm seeing more and more Rivians, they're getting popular. And that's kind of what happened in Tesla in the beginning, right? Everybody badmouthed that stock, badmouthed Musk. How could it have any valuation? It's
Tesla Q. Remember they had Tesla Q. Everybody's talking about because it's going bankrupt. That was the whole thing.
Right. So here we are. And now I don't know if Rivian will be a Tesla because Tesla obviously has more going for it than just cars. But nonetheless, this stock was trading at like, what, $120 at one point? So, the fact that it's at $15, $16, $17 being the recent high, that's just a classic example that, even if, and now they want to change the SEC requirements about the $25,000 minimum for day trading, for pattern day trades.
Oh, yeah. You saw that, right, Dennis, about the PDT? Yeah. Yep.
So what does that tell you? We had
get everything going.
Oh my God, $23 billion worth of mom and pop money has come into the market in the last month. 23 billion. And these are not necessarily wealthy people. These are mom and pop retail investors who are all buying stocks. Nobody cares about anything else. Nobody cares about the shutdown. Nobody cares about the geopolitics. Nobody cares about the internal disputes that we're having in this country. Nobody cares about inflation. Grocery prices are at an all-time high for 2025. Transportation and freight's down 12%. That's usually a recessionary indicator. Nobody cares about that except for one hard asset, gold. Gold seems to be the only thing that is like our big mirror. It's like, I feel like, I'm in an episode of Sleeping Beauty, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Gold.
It's so counterintuitive because usually when the stock market is this hot, gold is in the gutter, but it is not. Like gold is driving this rally too. Like it's not a lot of markets where gold and the S&P and all these other stocks are positively correlated with each other. They always say have gold for insurance in your portfolio. It hasn't insurance been the moneymaker here. And maybe it's because we're worried about inflation creeping back. Maybe that's what the market is getting ahead of here. But I mean, this has been an incredible run. We're up again this morning here. There's the fear in the gold trade now isn't the fear of the economy rolling over. It's the fear of not being in it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, people said, oh, it's so, I mean, I can't tell you how many bears there have been out there. People that I really admire and respect keep calling a top in gold. And we're nowhere near a top in gold right now. In fact, this is not even a parabolic move. I don't think we've seen the parabolic move yet. You know, just think about, I love to look at that cocoa chart, right, from a couple of years ago. That's a parabolic move when you go, choo, choo, choo. Right now, it's been sort of an orderly move. Now, obviously, the last couple of days, last week, you can see that big shoot up. Now we're coming in higher again today. But not just gold. I think you have to look, too, at the ratio. You know, I always talk about this. Excuse me, I just have to fidget in my seat for a second. You have to look at the ratio between silver and gold. And we've already broke down under what some classic inflationary signals are under 85. We're looking at around 80 right now. Maybe that will come up a little bit today because gold is up so much pre-market. But that's one of my first trifecta trades of inflation indicator, which is when the silver starts to outperform the gold. Under 80, it gets interesting, which means silver, it's what, 47, I think, right now? Silver can go to 50 and beyond. People think, 50 is it, right? Yeah, I'm seeing the question on gold miners versus physical. You know, as a pure commodities trader from back in the day, I always like to buy the actual physical. That's just me. But the miners have made an incredible move too. And if we're going to get into some kind of a supply issue, which is what I'm hearing, not just about copper, but also now about silver, with the demands that it has from EV to conductivity, AI data centers, and so on, and you start to get the type of central bank buying in silver like you're seeing in gold, yeah, then of course the miners are going to have to perform well too. So, you know, this has been, even if you lived under a rock and didn't know anything about semiconductors and AI, and you just were a commodities trader from 1980, you should be the happiest person alive right now.
Mish, what about the buck? Mish. What about the buck? What about the dollar?
Well, you know, the dollar, again, it looked to me last week like we might have had some kind of a double bottom. You know, that chart that you're showing right now is perfect, right? If you look at July low and then you look at the September low, they're similar. We got the bounce. But the bounce, if it doesn't really materialize, and now you've got all these people screaming bullish dollar, bullish dollar, bullish dollar. But yet I don't really necessarily see from a fundamental standpoint why the dollar should be so bullish. I mean, we know that people are also buying the euro. If it breaks back down again, and certainly if it takes out those lows that we saw in July and September, that's the second part of my trifecta of inflation indicator, is that, you know, the dollar loses its purchasing power. And also there could be more insidious type situations under the surface showing why the dollar is declining. You know, the lack of confidence in fiat currency in general, foreign nations selling the dollar, you know, BRICS comes back out into the picture. You got to watch the dollar here. If it can get back over, I'd say 100, then I go, okay, new trend. But right now, this is all noise. I don't see, you know, a move from 97 to 98.50 as anything more than just a quick short covering rally.
Do you think that's the single most important thing helping in inflation right now? Is the weak buck?
No. I think the single most thing that's really impacting inflation right now is that everything costs more money. I mean, everything costs more money. Certainly, the only thing that really has been tame, of course, is oil. But that's still tame, and it's been a frustrating trade for me because there is such a thing as the gold to oil ratio, and now oil looks so undervalued. But then you get this story about OPEC Plus looking to raise again their production, and the oil prices go back down. But I keep reading about Permian Basin, producers stopping to drill and frack, and demand being higher than what people think. So that to me is the biggest battle to watch for inflation, going from, okay, people are feeling pinched in the supermarkets, restaurants buying insurance, utility bills, electricity costs are off the roof, but they're still okay on filling their gas tank until they go fully electric, if that ever happens. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not that bad. I mean, in New Mexico has much cheaper gas than, say, I don't know, what's the price per gallon where you are in Michigan?
Joel?
Man, I have an EV, so I can't tell you when the last time I've been to the gas station.
That's great. Yeah, I have a hybrid, so I can tell you that sometimes
I don't even know. I don't know. I just whiz right by it and plug it in when I get home. So I don't know. I think
I tell you, in Canada, we're $1.47 a liter. And then there's like 3.6 liters in a gallon. So you can do the math. It's like $6, but then, you know, the exchange is a little bit lower. So it's probably like $4.50 a gallon.
Yeah, and I think
something
that's
like that equivalent.
Like in California, maybe in New York, but here in New Mexico, it's like under $3. It's like $2.89. So, so the point is that if you really want to see us going from the pressure of inflation, have the tariffs in terms of what that's going to create really been seen yet. Obviously, some Fed members don't think we've even seen the worst of that yet. A 480 in San Diego, somebody just said. 272 in Orlando. Wow, cheap. That's
go down to Florida.
Yeah. So anyway, the point is that if oil actually, for any reason, even though I keep getting the question, but Trump wants oil prices cheap and he gets what he wants, how could you possibly be bullish oil? I don't know if that can be controlled so readily. If certain factors happen, you know, we know that things are still heating up in Russia and Ukraine. We know that, you know, we're bombing Venezuela for fentanyl reasons. We know that China, the economy, even though everybody loves to believe that the economy is dying, is actually doing really well. That's a huge oil demand. We know that there's issues right now with Europe where they're buying their oil from. We're exporting oil, but we're making it very expensive when we do that. So that's my X factor in all of this. That's my trifecta, third, and of course my fourth, I will add a fourth, would be what happens with the price of grains and sugar. And you got to keep your eye on DBA right now and DBC, both of them. Those are two ETFs.
Mish, before we let you go, I want to get your thought internationally here, and you can go wherever you want. I've just been watching these China stocks. There's Alibaba up here again this morning. Is this turnaround for real? I kind of feel like it is, but I mean, I've been fooled before where we've seen Alibaba pop 50% in a month and then eventually leaks it all back. Is this time different for China?
I believe it is, but I've been believing that, you know, I bought Alibaba at $89. And when it got up to like 100, I got out thinking, oh, wow, I'm so smart.
Yeah.
And then I got to a point where I didn't want to chase it. So now, of course, I'm sorry about that. Not that I complain. I mean, my God, it's been an incredible year. But I did that differently than I would, let's say, gold. I mean, every time gold came off, I just bought more. And every time it came off, I bought more. And I'm still long gold. And I just, at this point, keep raising stops. So I would say China looks to me pretty solid. I mean, they're certainly working like crazy for AI and clean energy. And now they're doing a lot more tokenization than we're doing here. We're just starting here. But in terms of real world assets, you can now do tokenization on real estate in China. That's an interesting concept because it means you have fractal ownership through tokenization of whatever hard asset that is. In this case, I know China's been focused on the real estate part. So we've got so much interesting stuff going on and an unbelievable future. It's really going to be at this point what cracks. What is gold seeing that we just not have felt yet? And I don't think you could go into this without having that in the back of your mind. So as a technician, Dennis, I know you are too, you just have to keep having good risk parameters and keep raising those stops. And like I said, really watch, including Bitcoin, by the way, which I'm also very bullish on right now, including Bitcoin. You have to look at last week's low. If that breaks, I'm not bullish anymore. Now I know there's going to be a bigger correction.
They're all talking Ethereum here too, and that's popping back this morning. Obviously, the BMNR and Tom Lee, you know, has ignited this Ethereum talk here. Are you playing that at all, or are you just sticking with?
Yes, I was long Ethereum, Chainlink, Solana, right? And then I'm trading the cryptocurrencies pretty actively. It's like the commodities back in the day. It's so much fun. But today I'm seriously watching BitMine Immersion, you know, BMNR, because it landed right on the 50-day moving average last week. and then kind of had an inside day on Friday. Well, sort of an inside day. The high on Friday was 50.96. No, the high on Friday was 51.37, excuse me, higher. So to me, that if you want a low risk, it has to hold 47. That was the low on Thursday. But if it does, I mean, that's how I would be playing it right now, I think, from a more stock perspective, just because I'd be more inclined to sit with that with a good stop than I would say getting into Ethereum straight out because of the volatility. Let's see where Ethereum is right now. So Ethereum is under the 50-day moving average. There's a little bit of a negative slope there. We did have really good support at 3,800. That's where you should have been a buyer. Now here, we have to see what happens because we're going to start running into some resistance. If we can plow through that, you know, this is not something that you should be afraid to chase if the volume comes in. But if it starts to roll over, I'd be a little bit more patient.
Sticking with the parameters, Mish Schneider, CEO of MarketGauge. Always great. Thanks for coming on early and staying on late. We will talk to you again soon.
Cheers, guys.
Happy
Thanks,
coffee.
Mish.
Dennis, maybe you should start drinking coffee. It's coffee day. Oh, but
I need more energy. I don't have enough energy. I should start drinking coffee. I'd be talking like 5 words a second or something like that.
Do
like
we
a
want
machine,
that?
man.
We want that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think you want that. I better not.
Folks, let me pop in here and say thank you to our sponsor for the show. Always, Hive Digital Technology is a global leader in green power data centers for Bitcoin mining, high performance computing, and AI, operating with nearly 0.5 gigawatt of renewable energy. Hive is on track to capture 3% of the world's Bitcoin production by the end of 2025. Scan the QR code in the bottom right corner of your screen right now to learn more about Hive. We also have a little link in the description of this YouTube video. Thanks again to our sponsor, Hive Digital.
Let's go look at a few other charts. We can do some ticker time here too, but I want to start with Oklo. Barclays starts Oklo at an overweight here this morning. And this is the thing, folks. We always talk about, you know, retail buying the dip. Analysts buy the dip too. And when you have these stocks that have been relentlessly higher and the analyst community is looking at that and saying, crap, I wish I had a buy on that. It's going up without me. They have FOMO too. So then you get a dip on Oklo from 144 down to 110. There's analysts licking their chops and saying, that's my dip to buy. They may not physically be buying the stock, but it's an analyst sees their call as being long. So they want to be long because that's their job, making good calls. So analysts buy the dip as well with their calls. The one difference is a lot of investors listen when the analysts chime up, especially on retail darling names. So Barclays coming in this morning, initiating coverage of Oklo with an overweight, price target 146, basically just saying it's going to get back to last week's highs, which is not that bold of a call anyways. But Oklo is a levered way to invest in the SMR theme. Didn't know that. As a developer, owner and operator of assets, it looks to build and grow a baseline of cash flows and facilities that it puts into place from PPA agreements. They got all their numbers. They're coming in here, 14% cost of equity, blah, da, 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 da. But bottom line is analysts buy the dip too. And that's why it's so hard for these stocks to break trend. That's why you have great traders like Kenny Glick, who are always looking, at retracements, looking at VWAP, looking, at different time scales there. Because when you get these 50% retracements, and we talk about that too, there's an analyst community that want to look. And if we look at what it just did, Oklo, 80 to 140, yes, I'm rounding. Right back down $30, 110. That's a 50% retracement almost on the kisser. Analysts come in, they look at that stuff here too. They buy the dip. OKLO, great weekend trade for me. Sold into this. But it was, it's somewhat predictable that you're going to eventually get a positive note.
I like this kind of chart. I like when a stock goes up, just makes a tremendous move and then has a check back, right? People are reevaluating it. You made the low. I remember last week, what was the day there was like $500,000 to sell and thought the thing might open near 100, 102 and ended up getting offset. But 127, folks, got to keep an eye on this rebound here. What the bulls need here is for this rally to continue, get back up to 127, get a 127 bid, and then continue its way higher. The longer this thing takes to get back up to that 50% retracement, then you have a case for a much lower high. But that's what I'm looking at as far as the daily highs go. 119.96, so it's not even that Friday's high. Take that into consideration. That's your first target, and then 122.48. But mark that 127 area, just not for today.
I think Joel froze.
I think Joel froze.
He never freezes. He's ready to say something really good. Look at the lips.
He
was really
that
ready
poor
to
guy.
give us the level of all levels. He
I'm
really
gonna
was there. We could just freeze that, and like market that out. Here's, what we do on Stock Trader Network pre-market prep. We give you those great calls, and you just the levels right on the tip of his tongue, and he just puts it up there.
Yeah, I was about
Anyways.
to remove. Look at the discrepancy here. I was about to remove Joel because he's stuck on
And
some
I'm
sad
like
face.
trying to figure out what level, what number is he giving us there on Oklo? Man, Joel, right there. That's your marketing tool right there. Joel, just giving out those levels with such
How do I do
passion.
this? Can I do
With
this?
such passion.
I was trying to feature just him, but he officially is gone.
He's gone.
We have
All
no
right,
charts.
that's
We
okay.
have
We
no
don't need you,
Joel.
Joel. Oh, we do need Joel because I don't
Is he
even know.
texting?
He's my technical analyst. I've got the CFA. I don't have any other technical stuff here, so he's our numbers guy. We need our numbers guy back. But you know what? We can still do.
Joel just
Although he
texted me.
hurts
Joel
the
just
crap.
texted me. Should have paid my DTE bill. So maybe he just lost power.
Oh, he lost power. Well, he's
Maybe
a
he lost
Generac,
power.
so he'll be back.
Okay.
He is a Generac like I
Let's
do.
keep
I'm gonna
going.
have to add. You want to add your
Let's-
charts, Brenster?
Will you do charts? I can
can.
add my charts. I can add my charts. Here, I'll do it.
Brenster's gonna go add his charts. We go
You
around.
keep
We add some
going on
charts.
you keep going on the ratings, Dennis. I'll have my charts up in like 1 minute.
Yeah, sure. So there wasn't a lot of ratings. I mean, usually the big ratings day is Monday night and Tuesday night. Why? Because the analysts are like with their families on Sunday night. They're not early but they're getting back to their desk now. Well, I got to finish that note. I was doing this. I want to get that out tonight. So Monday nights are usually the biggest nights for ratings. So we don't always get that many ratings just on, a random Sunday night or Monday morning. A lot of times they do come out though tonight. So we'll look for a lot of good ratings tomorrow morning when we start breaking those. But we can go to some other upgrades. There's some other ones here too. General Dynamics gets upgraded at Seaport. We've also got Deutsche Bank. This one's interesting, upgrading LRCX to buy. Now that's a stock that we haven't talked about for a while, but it's also a stock that's been running $100 to $133 here, peeling back a little bit. There's the dip buy again. It dipped a little bit last week. They're like, I want to get that note out there. I'm going to time it right. And sometimes the analysts will hold the note too and look at the chart. Don't kid yourself. We know that. We've talked with the different analysts. Michael Pachter's enlightened us on this stuff here too. Like they look and they want to time these things. So when you see the stock run and they're like, I got a buy note. I don't want to put that out yet. I don't want to dip, to be able to put that buy note out.
Right.
So you get the dip last week and then bang, Deutsche Bank releases the upgrade to LRCX and the stock's popping this morning, up 3.48%. Obviously, its brother-in-law Applied Materials also lifting. Had a great week, great month for Applied Materials, going from 160 to 203. Is that an all-time high as Applied Materials? No, it's not. It was higher in 2024. But on the comeback trail here, so you're starting to see this semi-rally broaden out. It's just been a few names, and now it's starting to broaden out here too. LRCX, AMAT moving this morning.
My charts are about to get up here in just a sec, just for
And
the
then
last
Joel's
minute
back.
or two of the show. Oh,
He's
yeah.
back anyways.
Okay.
Generac didn't work?
It did. Well, it took a couple seconds.
It takes 30 seconds.
It takes 30 seconds.
Kicks
But
on.
okay. So without Googling this, Brent, you may get it. Dennis won't get it.
Okay. What do we got?
There's a song, famous song. Boom, boom, out go the lights. Who sings that song?
Holy, he's
a
going
great-
back
I
to
don't
the
think
40s. He's going back to
It's
the
a
40s.
great
for this.
concert song. Someone in
I-
the chat.
Boom, out go the lights. I've never
Yeah.
heard that ever.
Yeah.
I don't know it.
1944 special here.
Boom, boom, out go the lights.
I'm
Come
gonna
on.
guess. I'm gonna guess like Queen, but I don't think that's it.
It's not Queen.
Spencer's a DJ. Like this is you're really going off the grid when he doesn't know a song.
Jay Giles band.
Nope. Nope. Pat Travers. You guys got
Ooh,
it.
James.
Yeah.
James got it.
Pat Travers. And
eh?
you know what you used to do? Just a real quick tangent. So you'd be at the concert, like at the Toledo Sports Arena or something, and
Yeah.
he would come on and he would do this song, and then they go boom, boom, out go the lights, and they'd hit
That's
all the
pretty
lights
cool.
in the arena. Then everyone would like flick their lighter,
I know,
right?
back in the day.
Yeah.
Right. And then there was always that joker, okay, that would sneak in the Lysol can, and they would flick their lighter.
Holy crap.
Make a torch?
Yeah,
Wow.
they flick the lighter and then they spray the Lysol can on it, and then you would
That's
see.
full on Quiet Riot stuff right there, though,
Yeah.
man. You know, Quiet
Yeah.
Riot, what happened when they were playing around with the pyrotechnics and all that? They burned the place
Yeah.
down.
Yeah,
Come on, feel the noise.
I
And
say
the place
boom,
burned
boom.
down.
You
That was
say
Quiet
out go
Riot,
the
wasn't it?
lights.
Was it Quiet Riot that burned the place down? The hall? I think they
Brentster?
did.
I think so. Yeah. I think you're right.
I think they did. Check and verify that. I can quickly find on Google. I'm going from my memory. I'm pretty sure it was Quiet Riot. Burned the
I
whole
think-
hall down.
I think they warmed up for AC/DC, and I won't tell my AC. I did get backstage for that. I won't tell that.
You
that-
have backstage ACDC and you're not going to tell the story?
Really? You want to hear that? I told that.
Yes.
I told you that before.
I've never
No?
heard this one.
I was in high school, and my dad saw my concert tickets, and it said, AC/DC, like whatever, Toledo Sports Arena, and it was put on by Belkin Productions. My dad was like, "Oh, I know Jules Belkin. He was in my fraternity at Michigan." And I'm like, "Dad, there you go, telling another story again." So my dad called him up. And he said, "Hey, yeah, whatever you could do." And he said, "Well, does your son want backstage passes to
God.
AC/DC?" So we went, and that's when Bon Scott was still the lead singer. And so we go backstage after the concert, and I can tell the story because there's nothing wrong, nothing negative about it. But all these girls are just swarming Bon Scott. I don't think this is okay for YouTube. And this one girl had a halter top on, and like Bon Scott literally grabbed the top of her halter top and looked down her shirt.
It was a different time back then.
And I told my buddy, I go, you know what? I think we better get out of here, man. I don't know what's gonna happen next, but
Wow.
yeah.
Some crazy stuff. How old were you then?
I was still in high school, 16.
Yeah, so you're like,
heck
whoa,
yeah.
I'm seeing boobies.
I was like, whoa. I don't know, boy. I was just like, but he was cool. Angus Young was like running around in the background and everything. But
Holy cow.
yeah, I
Awesome,
can't
real
believe I
crazy
never told. I
story.
told you that story before, Dennis.
No, you never did. All these
I never
stories
told
that
you.
I've heard, and a lot of them. And your dad, obviously he was short the TV and he was short 5-cent burgers
McDonald's.
at McDonald's.
Oh,
But he got JCDC ticks, a backstage tick. That's a hookup right there, man.
yeah. I'll tell the Led Zeppelin ticket story another time. That's
Okay.
that's a
Yeah.
Storytelling time. 2 tickers. Give us 2 tickers here so we can finish this show up. It's the first one that pops in that chat. That's the stock we're to talk. Joel's going to get his charts back up
I will.
here quickly. Joel's getting the charts. First ticker, whatever one comes.
Here we go. Baba.
They said it was Great White. Baba. Oh, that's a good one.
AG.
That's a good one to do.
AG with Baba and
Yeah.
Lee
Oh, that's a
Castor,
tough
AMKR.
Okay, that's good.
That's a good
Let's do
one.
Baba.
AG, thank you.
What do we do? A Baba or AMKR?
Baba first.
Dude. Baba.
It's all about 180. That was the high 3 days ago. So you haven't hit it yet in the pre-market. That's your target on the upside. Takes out 180. Absolutely nothing on the monthlies. I should have kept a 50% retracement on this because that's probably where it's going. I think it's like around 220 or something like that. But Baba, pretty easy one. Dennis, I'll let you
That's too
take
long.
AMKR.
Oh, you're going to throw me under the bus on AMKR.
Yeah, I like this.
So, Amcor Technologies, I don't know
Nah.
anything about this company here. I have traded it before. It's trading up about or 42
I
cents in
don't
the free market here. It's been moving higher, drifting higher, 20, 30. I don't know. $30 is a big hole number there where it failed here. Gets back up there. You got a little bit of resistance there at 30. If we go out longer, you got a little bit of old lows at 30 from 2024. So I want to say $30 major resistance for this thing.
Yeah, 30.35. You're high on the 23rd. High close of the move 29.58. So that's what you want to see. In an improvement on for is it therapeutic? No, Amcor Tech.
We're
All
trying
right,
to
we
find
got
out if it's Quiet Riot. They said it was White Snake. I
Oh,
wonder if
White
it was
Snake.
more than
Okay.
one. Quiet
Probably
Riot
more than
Fire.
one.
I
Probably
swear it
more
was
than one.
Quiet Riot. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. I think White Snake was a different one. I think Quiet Riot did have a fire. Let me look.
Burning
Because-
questions left for the Stock Trader Network. We'll talk about this and more on the Stock Trader Network.
We're trying to figure out if it's Quiet Riot.
But
or
you know,
White
you know,
Snake
you know what tomorrow is?
or Great
Tomorrow
White.
is Crypto Corner at 8:35.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with Louis Sykes, who's going to be joining us from New Zealand, and
Yeah.
he'll be coming on to talk about the crypto markets. So, sorry for the brief and little blackout here, but
hiccup.
we're
You're good,
back. The
Joe.
lights are on. I did see something about DTE bill in my inbox, but I thought I was on auto pay with that, so better check that out. But folks, we're getting started here. Just getting the week started here. A synthetic Tuesday for me because I won't be here on Thursday. But here we are, ending another exciting pre-market prep. Join us in the Stock Trading Network as we analyze this higher opening 38 handles. Let's see if it sticks, folks.